The father of Greek philosophy was a fellow by the name of Thales, who lived about 2,500 years ago. None of his writings have come down to us, but we know some things about his life through the accounts of others. He was an amazing philosopher who always had his thoughts on the things of above. Plato tells us that Thales was once walking down a road with his head thrown back, observing and studying the stars in the sky. As he was walking in that strange position, he stumbled into a well and fell in. When he cried out for help, a servant girl came and helped him out of the well. She shook her head and asked him, "How is it that you were so curious about the things in the sky that you didn't see what was lying at your feet?" I know many people with their heads in the clouds. People who only think of other things and are not very grounded in the things of this earth. But I also know many people of the opposite type. Those who are very good with the things of this earth, but never look up at anything higher. We hear that as Jesus ascended, his friends were watching him go. Afterwards, angels appeared to them and asked them an interesting question. "Why are you standing here looking up at the sky?" Standing here and looking up. In these two things consists human existence. In this consists the life to which we were called. We are standing on earth, our feet firmly planted on the ground, but our gaze is directed above. We deal with the everyday problems of this earth, of this existence, daily cares and earthly affairs. But even when we are at home, we never feel quite at home. Something in our heart is always striving for something higher. As St. Augustine noticed, our hearts were made for you, and they are restless until they rest in you. Nothing we see here below can bring perfect fulfillment to our heart. Nothing we have here below can bring us perfect happiness. We look down, we look around, and we see only the things of below. In order to see something higher, we have to look up. Yet how many religious people even never stop to think of anything higher, never really raise their eyes to the things above. For some who maybe even go to church every Sunday, religion is something social, or perhaps a custom, or maybe even a way to advance their own career or their own political agenda. But how many truly lift eyes and heart to anything higher? We are not going to live here forever. Our feet are planted firmly on this earth for a certain amount of time. But one day we too shall ascend from this planet to something higher. When that day comes, many resist it. Even people who profess to believe in a life hereafter are sometimes quite reluctant to go. We sometimes see cases where God has been trying to call someone home for a long time, but they are so afraid to go that they spend incredible sums for machines that will keep their heart pumping long after the time they were supposed to be in heaven. Why are we so afraid to get our feet off the ground and ascend to the heights? On the other hand, how many are tired of standing here on this earth and would much rather leave already? One of the most tragic cases I have encountered is the cult tragedy that occurred in Uganda on March 17th, 2000. A cult had arisen there called the Restoration of the Ten Commandments movement. Like all cults, this one too was more than a little crazy. On that fateful day, the cult leaders herded all the members together, packed them in the church, bolted the doors and windows, and blew up the church with everybody inside, so that their members could go immediately to heaven, all 530 of them. They were tired of waiting. Two elements of human existence, two essentials of the spiritual life, feet firmly planted here and eyes focused on the things of above. Look down at the earth beneath your feet and see how you can bring heaven down to earth. See all God's creatures in need of your help. Look down sometimes. But don't forget to look up sometimes as well. Don't forget to raise your eyes and your hearts to the things of above, for it is there that our true home lies.